Hi, y'all. My name is Clara Chanda. I'm the physical therapist here at Emerge at our Cary Clinic. Today, I'm going to go through some exercises that we can do with a yoga ball. A lot of us have yoga balls at home, and this is just a tool that we can use to encourage our kids to strengthen in different ways while still making it fun. I first want to go through the fact that sitting on any unstable surface will encourage us to use all of our muscles. For our upright posture, it will make us use all these trunk muscles to stay up. So when your kid is doing homework at home or drawing and coloring, we can have them sit on a therapy ball and really it still works our muscles. Other activities that we can actually do, have them reach down. This anterior and inferior reach will encourage us to use all these leg muscles right here in the squat form that we like. I like this position when I'm working with my kids because a lot of times we see our kids' knees go in or our legs compensate and go out just so that we don't have to use all these muscles in our legs. So as a parent or a caregiver, you are able to kind of hold their legs in certain positions as they reach so we can really strengthen those muscles. So something that I do, you can do hustle, you can do bean bags, you can grab the bean bags and throw them into a target, different things like that. So this short sitting on the therapy ball is going to be really good for them. If they're not quite reaching to the ground, able to reach to the ground, you can have them reach forward, you can have them reach to the side. Anything will work our core and our legs. Another thing that we can do is we can do short sit to stand. So these are more of like a good squat form that is a little bit harder than just reaching. We can reach all the way up and come all the way back down. You might have to stabilize the ball for your child so it doesn't roll away and they don't sit on the floor. So another activity that we can do to encourage our core as well as our arms and our leg muscles is going to do our hands and knees position over the ball. So a lot of times this position is actually hard for our child because we're trying to extend our back, extend our neck, and sometimes those muscles are a little bit weak. This position also requires us to put weight through our arms and our legs. So we're getting weight bearing through our legs in proper alignment, and we're also using our arms to reach forward. A lot of times we'll see our kids lock out our arms because our muscles are a little bit too weak to hold us up. So we want to rely on our skeletal muscles instead of our skeletal bones instead of our muscles. So what I would encourage you to do is kind of give some cueing right here to make sure that they keep their arms slightly bent instead of completely locked down. This will encourage them to use more of their arm muscles. If this is too easy for your child, you can also do this heart positioning. I love to do this with a lot of my kids. It really works, especially our glute muscles as we're extending. They can reach forward and throw things. They can do a puzzle in this position. We're still using our arm muscles, making sure that they're not locked out, but that they're slightly bent. We do weight shifting to reach for different objects, which will encourage us to use our core as well. A lot of times I will help hold their legs and the ball stable so that they don't fall over and hurt themselves, because this is a little bit of a challenging task, especially when they're reaching. So you are able to hold the ball and keep it a little bit more stable for them. This is a really great activity that I like to do. Kids don't notice that they're working because they're having so much fun doing the thing on the floor. The next activity that we're going to go through is really good for our core muscles. So this is basically sit-ups on a therapy ball. However, you can make it more fun for your kid by adding an activity to do. So you'll have your child sit on the yoga ball. You'll lean back, and right here I have some toys. So they're reaching for the toy, and I always tell them to launch it into a target. So it forces them to lean back, grab the toy, and then this is the activation of the core that you're able to use to launch. Any kind of core activity is going to be great for posture. The next activity that we can do focuses on balance while also focusing on strength. So what we're going to do is you're going to have your child stand on one leg. It seems very easy and simple, but sometimes this is really difficult for our kids because it's forcing us to use especially these hip abductor muscles, all of our ankle muscles, as we try to keep our foot stable, all of our leg muscles and our core so we don't fall all over the place. If standing just like this is too hard for your kid, you can also add a wall for them to hold on to, make it a little bit easier. You can give them your hand. You can put a chair right here and have them hold on to the chair. Anything like that will help with their balance. But in order to make that activity a little bit more fun, you can use the yoga ball. You'll have your child balance right here on one foot and kick it back and forth. Right now I'm just using the wall, which is a good option, but you can also do it with your child or have your siblings play, whatever makes it best for them. So this activity, I like to say, oh, can we make it to 5 different kicks in a row and see how long they can hold this position. It's that holding that really makes us work these muscles and our ankle muscles. A lot of times we'll see our kids have some flatter feet or don't have their arches developed as well. Or when they walk, they seem to have a little bit of movement at those ankles that just seem a little unstable when they go on uneven surfaces or they play on the playground. So any kind of balancing activity is going to be really good for strengthening those ankle muscles, those foot muscles, and developing that arch in our feet so that we don't have pain in the future. So another activity that we can do to strengthen our ankles and our feet especially, but also every other muscle in our legs and our glutes, as well as our core as we stabilize, is going to be calf raises. So in order to make it a little bit more fun for your child, we're going to use a therapy ball and we're going to cue them to see how high they can get their therapy ball up on the wall. So you'll have the wall, you'll have your child face the wall just like this, put the therapy ball right here in their hands, and they'll go up, 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 up onto our toes, see how high we can do it, and then come back down. And then up, 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 up. See how high we can get the ball, strengthening all of those muscles, and then coming back down. We can do that 10, 15 times a day, and that will really increase, especially our calf muscles, but all of our ankle and foot muscles as well, and all of our legs, our core, and our hips. The next activity we're going to do is for squat form. We can use a therapy ball to help us with our squat form, which will strengthen our core, our hips and our legs, kind of like all the other things as well, all the other activities we've been doing as well. So the way that we are going to use the therapy ball while we squat is going to be like this. You're going to have your child stand with their back against the wall, put the ball on their lower back, and have them pretend they're sitting in a chair and coming back up. Sit in a chair and come back up. You can make it more fun. Some beanbags, some rings, anything that you think will motivate your child. If they like art, you can have them grab markers down on the floor, come back up and draw on the wall, on a table in front of them, anything. You can get creative. It keeps your child interested and keeps them working out, strengthening their muscles as they're having fun. So for this activity, you're going to make sure that your legs are straight, your feet are pointed forward. We don't want our knees to collapse in. We don't want our trunk to go forward. We want to stay upright to keep that ball against the wall. It just gives us that input that we need to remind ourselves to not collapse. Anything like that, that will be really, really helpful for helping to cue your child to do a proper squat form. A lot of times we'll see them just bend down and reach like this, not using any of our leg muscles and only using the flexion at our back, which can eventually hurt our back and cause us pain in our lower spine. Overall, all of these activities are going to be really, really helpful for strengthening your child's muscles, their legs, their hips, their ankles, their feet, their core, even their shoulder girdle muscles, especially with that weight bearing through their hands. There are a whole bunch of modifications that you can do and kind of play around with to see if your child is having difficulty with one thing. You can kind of change it and make it easier for them. And you can always include activities that will make it more fun for them so that they continue to participate. A lot of times they'll be like, oh, I'm tired. So give them a break. Let them have a break. Do about 10 of each activity, 10 reps of each activity, or hold our positions for about 3 minutes if we're doing hands and knees position. Hold it for about 3 minutes and then give them a break. And then we can go back and do it again. So these are some activities I hope you enjoyed and you are able to implement these in your home as a fun activity for your children, but also as something that will help them to grow and to become stronger.